Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Susana Marambio, and I'm the co-owner of BBCS Business Advisors. So we help business owners to achieve accelerated growth by providing them with the structure, the knowledge, and the tools they need to achieve their goals. This session is being recorded and live streamed to YouTube and into LinkedIn as well. So if this is your first session attending one of our webinars, you will be glad to know that we don't spend a lot of time talking about ourselves or trying to sell you anything at the end. So we know that you are busy people and taking this time at lunchtime, or we already know that it's a big ask. So our focus is to deliver insights that you can put in practice as soon as possible, or as soon as you feel that you are confident enough to do. We launched this series that is a collaboration series in 2023. And it was to address a specific business challenges that we have seen with customers. And the idea was to bring experts so that they can share their knowledge and can help us to solve this challenge. So today's topic is why your website isn't getting the customers that you want and how to fix it. An issue that we have seen many times with our business owners. And our guest today is Matt Sroka from Revolution. They are an expert in digital marketing and web optimization. Matt has helped business improve their website performance, attract right audience, and convert visitors into paying customers. So I want you to welcome Matt. And Matt, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Susana. I'm very glad and excited to be here. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
So to start, would you mind to share a little bit about your journey and how it is that you got into digital marketing?
Yes, so I always loved technology, especially computers. And I started as a freelancer making simple websites and thought myself building more and more complex websites and expanded my team to build more websites. And I noticed that when we can create the most beautiful website with the best user experience, the graphics and everything. But if there is no visitors, it's no good and doesn't give any impact to the company that we built the website for. So I decided, okay, we need to do something with that. And I really want to bring results and impact to the companies I work with. So I decided to put effort into expanding services by adding digital marketing into our service. So basically, we build your website or e-commerce, and then we generate leads or sales on that website.
Thank you for that, Matt. So Revolution is based in Cork. And I know that you are in the process of becoming a B Corp certified organization. This is one of the few in Ireland that will be a B Corp certified. And so for those who don't know what B Corp is certification for businesses that meet high standards on social, environmental, and ethical responsibility. So Matt, can you share a bit about what your journey so far and basically what inspired you to go for it and what have you learned so far?
Yeah, so basically I think that Revolution is a very successful project, and I have personally a strong urge to give back to the planet and people. I think it's thanks to everybody and the environments and that helped us to be what we are. And I started experimenting with small things like helping other small pro bono companies and things like that. And then we came up with this tree planting initiative. So we did one last year and another one just 2 weeks ago in Cork. And then somebody told me about B Corp, and I've learned about this, about all the how it helps to structure company, and reading more and more, I love the idea. So I really wanted to implement this. It was a very difficult process. It's sometimes it was overwhelming, but we got a consultant that helped us. And yeah, we submitted our documents. We changed our company mission. Everything is, there's so many things you have to do. You have to think as well. But it's really good. It's good to do this experiment from a business development perspective and build a strong foundation. So yeah, it was a process. I think there will be more small things to do, but I think we're on a good path to achieve it this year.
Fantastic. So for those of you who are interested, the local enterprise office offer the service to companies. So you need to go to their website and check out about the green initiative. And then if you will have to submit your application, and they will come back to you and provide you with this advisor that will help you to create basically the one step at a time things that you need to do if you want to achieve the B Corp certification. So many business owners assume that having a website is enough, but we know that that is not the case. From your experience, what are the biggest reasons why websites fail to convert visitors into paying customers? And what do you see like the big roadblocks? So what is it that is stopping that happening?
Yes, so there is a couple of things that, from my experience, I encounter every now and then very regularly. The biggest reasons why websites fail to convert visitors into paying customers or leads or shoppers is, so one thing that I cannot underestimate is our product or service pages are not optimized. So lack of CTAs or call to actions. So they are kind of the main buttons that the action that what you want users to do on your website when they see the service. The call to actions, they need to be put in strategic locations. So basically it's easy for people to know how they can engage or how they can buy. Many sites, many pages, service pages or product pages, they lack of social proof. So testimonials, reviews, case studies, there's no trust building. Also, we saw that very often there is no gallery or it's very limited photography, and it's important if you are engaging customers with any e-commerce really, but services that rely on this, it's essential. We saw missing service or product descriptions, so I don't know what I'm really buying, or the product or service description not addressing the real pain points or benefits you offer or is your offering. Other than that, very likely there would be confusing navigation, complicated purchase on inquiry process, so too many steps, no trust signals, like security or warranty or whatever, design errors, especially on mobile. So we saw things that's it was not possible to purchase because of the buy now button or checkout button was not available on certain devices. And when you're running ads, if you're not targeting the right audience, you're burning your ads budget and you're not going to convert those people into paying customers because they are not your customers.
But I wrote down a lot, and I will do a summary at the end because there is a lot of things to look at when you which could be the reason that is not your page is not converting. So other thing that we often hear is business invest in the website, but they are still not seeing the results. You mentioned some of the and we received some questions. So for example, one of those, it is in your experience, what are the most common frustrations businesses face with their website? So obviously you mentioned a lot of things that are not working, but a business owner, what will they experience without the knowledge of that you have?
Yeah, so one of the biggest frustrations, let's say, or problems that business owners have, that they don't know how their website is performing. They don't know what's happening on their website, and they know they invested in this. They don't even look at this very often because they are afraid. I don't know, but they just don't know anything about it, and it's because you need to kind of educate yourself a little bit or get people that could help you with that. And one of the kind of more specific frustrations would be a low conversion rates. So that people come to your website, but they don't buy or they don't inquire about your service. So it's a low conversion rate. And very often also the website is not updated with your current offering. So the services you may have changed and they are not up to date, or products, or they're missing descriptions, or things like this. So those are the three kind of biggest frustrations I would think of. Yeah.
So how can a business owner assess if their website is actually helping or potentially harming their growth. So because, for example, the idea of that my offer of product or service is not updated, I will know that. Maybe I will not have time to actually change it, but you as the business owner will know that, yeah, I know that it's not updated. I know that it's not everything there. But which other ways they can actually say, okay, things that I can't at one glance or without your knowledge knowing that it could be harming. So you at the beginning said about the call to action as one.
Yes. So yeah, so like one of the things that's sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. So how can business assess whether their website is actually helping or potentially harming their growth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it's about understanding few key aspects of their online presence. So one of them would be something what we call conversion rate. So it's amount of people that become inquiries or customers of your shop. And you can compare against industry benchmarks. Like it's very easy to find how many people should become clients after they visit your website. In online shop, another indicator would be cart abandonment rate, which is people added to cart, but they didn't complete it checkouts. They didn't buy, but they had an intention to buy. So why it's happening, you know? And this would be very interesting thing to look at. One of the things that mobile responsiveness and making sure it's mobile friendly, like 60% of the traffic, if not more, even for some industries, it's way more. It happens on mobile. So it's essential that those websites are mobile responsive and mobile friendly. Some of the things are like page load times. Generally, if you ask yourself, is my website a true sales and marketing asset or just an online brochure? This is kind of something that you can quickly assess when you look at this from perspective of a potential client.
Okay, that makes sense. So you mentioned just now that there are different types of sites. It could be an online brochure or it could be a lead generation. So which is the difference? So
Yes.
what is an online brochure and what is a lead generation?
That's very, very good question. So the online brochure is a very kind of, it's a website that is not designed, that has some information about your service, but it's not designed to engage with customers. Basically, it doesn't present your service in the way that people would like to inquire about this or products. And it's very likely people would need to make an extra effort to reach out to you. And if you're in competitive market, then they will just go to your competition. So the lead generation website is focused on when somebody comes to this site, they become your clients, very likely. You increase your chances. So you address certain aspects that are looking for. You need to make sure that you present the right information, you present your company and a lot of things. It's a massive difference because lead generation is a thing that generates leads. It works for your business. It's a digital marketing asset and sales asset.
Yeah. So tell us the role that would play the social media and I say this because I've done so many customers and potential customers and people that have been mentoring, and the question about how can I go into Instagram and become viral, and it is just one silo focus onto one channel. And I have my own experience and my own way of seeing it, marketing as a more holistic element. But you tell us how the role that the social media element play together with the website.
Yeah, so it can play a lot of roles really, but one of the kind of key things is that you need to have your online presence brought to the certain level that people, depending on the service, they may want to check if you're a real person or a real company. That's one thing. And social media, like and I think everybody, like if you decide and if you're looking for a more very expensive service, they want to make sure that you guys are doing work and you'll deliver essentially. So it helps it builds trust. It's one of the things. It can also be a source of the traffic to your website. So, and people can learn about your services in a different way on social media. So it can generate leads as well. But I like to say that it's a combination of everything, like social media, website, and other marketing efforts. They need to play together for best results.
Yeah. So now, what is the role that the paid ad play in driving website traffic, and how a business can maximize this return on investment?
Yes. So the paid ads can play a really significant role, really, because they offer you an instant visibility. Like you can launch a campaign, and next day you get traffic to your website, and you can target your audience really. Like you can be very kind of narrow, and you can be very specific about who you're targeting, which is great, because you know that you're targeting the people who are looking for your service. You can scale quickly. Like you can spend one day 1,000 euros on Google Ads or 500 or whatever. The next day you can decide, okay, this month, for example, we want to increase to 2 grand, 5 grand, 10 grand. That means that, and then knowing your conversion rate and few other numbers, it will help you and plan your scalability. And also retargeting. A lot of people forget about retargeting. So for example, if you have
what is retargeting?
Yes. So retargeting is if somebody engaged with your website or your business, but in this case specifically website, and they didn't decide to reach out to you or buy, you can try to remind them, softly remind them about the product or service. So for example, if somebody comes to your website through Google Ads and they didn't decide to ask about your service, then a few days later, we can show them your ad on Meta. Maybe they got distracted. The attention span people have these days is very short, so you never know. But so it helps to recover those potential sales, and very likely abandoned cart sales as well. We probably talk about this later as well. Yeah.
So if someone is kind of trying to figure out how retargeting looks like, so think about that time that you wanted to buy something, for example, a pair of trainers for your husband or partner, and you are looking at it in social media, in the website, and then you actually are looking something else and appears everywhere the pair of trainers following you in different pages. And funny enough, it also appears in your partner or husband browser at the same time, because you are sharing the same internet connection. So if you have ever happened something that you're looking at something and appears then in different areas of different websites and so on, that is retargeting. Right? So if business could make one change to improve their website lead generation or sales, so either you as a business owner, you want people to book an appointment, for example, or you want to sell more in your e-commerce site, what could you recommend?
I would say, I think the biggest recommendation would be to look into the call to actions and lead capture or sales capture process. Please, like, if you want really to do something with it's one of the kind of top things that we always when we approach any project and there's existing website, this is the first thing we look at. So we make sure that call to actions are clear and actionable. So it's not just learn more or contact, but it would be, in case of services, get your free quote today, or claim your 10% discount type of thing, or buy now, or whatever, But it's sometimes we saw things that it's a bit different. You make things difficult for potential clients. Another thing is to reduce friction in forms. So if your forms are not designed correctly and you ask for more irrelevant information, then you may lose those clients essentially. And this is applicable for inquiry forms, but also for checkouts on e-commerce. And adding trust signals near to call to actions, like customer testimonials, logos, money back guarantees, easy returns, security badges, it helps big time. Like it's just amazing sometimes how like adding those little things can help.
Yeah. So I know that because obviously you're going to be B Corp certified, one of the core stones of your business is ethical behavior. So, and then on the other side, we have talked a lot in our own meetings about how you can translate the value that it means doing a proper website to actually have a website that, although in pricing looks similar, it is not done properly. So, and that it is, I think it's very difficult to translate as we as people who don't know about website, when you receive quotations, and obviously as small businesses, we are always penny pinching everywhere. So how I can make a right decision that is not based in either the quotation of the price of the quotation and the number of stuff that it is in the list. Because the reality is that if you don't know, or if you want to update your website, probably you get absolutely lost with all this jargon. So how can I evaluate someone to provide me a good website that I know, okay, they are thinking about me, not about taking my money only?
Well, in our process, the way how we approach this is that we do something that we call a discovery call when we learn about a client's requirements, and based on this, we either see that we can bring value or not to the end we would like to engage or not. For a small business, it may be difficult. I would say that to compare different offers, I think one of the best things is to check testimonials, and this is the social proof. So if they can provide good case studies, and you reach out to those businesses, and if somebody's happy, they'll tell you straight away. And I think this is the best way to find out about the company. There is information about, and it's something we can potentially create and share in the future. The checklist of what the website should have, and you can ask any potential designer, okay, guys, how do you implement this, or how you have implemented this on other websites? Where are your call to actions visible? Have your service pages, did they have testimonials? All those things.
Okay, that makes sense. So there is the other part is also the ad. And I've just heard so many, literally I have customers that are asking advice on creating the ad for Google, while they actually have an agency that is doing their ad physically. And it's like, but shouldn't they actually provide you that kind of support? So in your case, how do you help them? How do you help a business to create that right content? So that, because it doesn't matter if it appears in many places, it doesn't have the right message, people will not click on it. So how can you help them?
Yes. So what we do, we identify the service. We look at the clients, at their niche and the previous jobs, and we do a very kind of pretty deep analysis of how we should present the service on the website, and how we should communicate it in any ads or any media or any social media posts or anything. So we do kind of this marketing strategy and growth plan, where we look into your offering, what's your unique selling proposition, all those things, and our goal is to create this and make sure that it's visible and available for potential clients on the website and ads and social media.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I have another question, and it's around so one of the things, and this is for people in the audience. So when we start with any marketing activity will work or will not work depending on doing the foundation work. And the foundation work, it means that, do you know who your customer is? But really, really know it. Can you call the Susana? If I'm your customer, can you say, Susana is all this? And they are interested on this, and they will look for information in this area. And these are the topics that they are interested on learning about. Can you identify what is the main problem that customer you have? What is the problem? Not what you want to sell them. So what is the problem that you are solving when you actually get that your service is solving for them? Having those two things, plus what make you different. So why someone will choose you? I know that in Ireland, the part of referral, knowing someone that will tell me this company is good or not, depends on their experience. It is a big part of it. But you as a standalone business need to think of why someone will choose me and not someone else. So when you can clarify those three elements, any type of marketing, even when you are talking in an event or when you write a letter, or an email or whatever, any kind of marketing will be effective and people will be drawn to talk to you. So when Matt is talking about working on your website and having the right content and being able to change that into ads so that people always feel that they're adding value, you have to think of those three elements, and that it will help you with any kind of marketing, not only in digital. So Matt, another question around the same line. When let's say an example is, I just paid 5,000 euros for my website last year and I don't see results. Because obviously we all know that it takes a time until we see the results and so on. So, but someone that just spent the money and I still don't see the results. So with that, they definitely will not go back to another website. So what can they do to actually try to save the investment?
Yes, that's something that we regularly do, because my goal is that I want to bring results fast, meaning that your website is an existing asset, and very likely it can be adjusted by proper work. We call it conversion optimization process, where we create and where we change the website so it meets what we call the standards that we have, which is making sure that you have the testimonials, you have all the social proof, other and the trust signals, the call to action, and everything. So the website is there, and using, even if it's not ideal at this stage, very likely you can change the navigation, you can improve it within a few days and start generating sales from it. And we actually do it, because first of all, it takes so much time and effort to build new website. And I prefer to have something to build trust with the clients, first of all, but also to bring them those results. So maybe we can do some changes and then bring traffic, and they'll see, okay, my website can actually work for me, can generate those sales or leads. And then they'd be more happy to invest in either redesigning it if needed, or I don't know, expanding or anywhere. But that's like most of the websites, they are built using technologies that are commonly known, and using different kind of small techniques, it's possible to achieve and change them and bring them to the level that they will actually work.
Okay, so thank you for that. And I'm always very conscious of the time. Now we are going to go to the last questions and then summarize the takeaway. But I want anybody that has a specific questions about your website or your ads or anything digital, just put it in the chat or in the Q&A and we can answer individual questions. So if someone, and this is the thing that we like to do in this type of webinar, it is that someone can take something, a quick win, and can say, okay, if I do this, I will actually, it will help, in this case, my website conversion or whatever. So if someone who has one of the challenges that we have described before, and you could advise on one thing that they can do to get unstuck. So basically that they can actually either generate, improve the performance of the website or try to generate more leads, which will be a quick win for website conversion rate.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I think the quickest And the very often the most kind of low-hanging fruit would be that can bring results is to add social proof and trust signals. So basically, those would be to add reviews or testimonials near your call to actions, and adding security or money back guarantees as well, depending on if you're a lead generation or e-commerce website. What they'll do is they will build trust immediately. They reduce hesitation. And yeah, it's very like it will work immediately. You'll see the change like now. If you have visitors coming and if you add these things, you should see increase in inquiries or sales.
Okay, that's very good actually. I will share my website now. So I received a couple of questions. So one of them is, can you explain in content and with the difference between, or if there is any difference in the performance of the website when you talk about blogs, photos, and video?
A difference in?
If there is any difference in the performance of a website, having a blog, having photos, or having video?
Well, all are important depending on different industries. Like videos, I would like from what we've learned working with several customers, the videos are things that really work, because even every time we create a video and we add a video on their website, they get a great feedback from their visitors. Oh, I saw your video, I saw your whatever. So this I can, and now it's so, let's say, affordable to create videos that I think everybody should have, especially testimonial videos. Like they are very specific type of videos. I cannot really underestimate how well they work. The images, like the only, you have to kind of think about it, the only interaction you have with the client is the text and picture or image on your website. So the better images are, the better you can present the service or product, the more engagement you'll get. And you can test it yourself when you go, and one website, they sell the same service, but the ones that have better pictures would be more likely to engage, because these guys, they produce really nice sliding wardrobes. Although the other guy can do very similar job when you really deeply look at the quality of work, but the pictures, how it's presented is important. The blogs, this is like another probably subject for another webinar, but the blogs are really great to educate your customers. So they allow you to answer any questions people may have before they answer. And it can be very powerful, and it can improve conversions big time as well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So there is another question that, can you explain a bit about keyword optimization?
Yes. So the way how I understand this question is that you want to optimize your website from a keyword perspective. And this is more about SEO subject. So
I'm sorry, and the SEO, it will help with the ranking of your website in,
yes.
in search engines like Google and so on.
Yes, it's search engine. Yes, you're right. Thank you. So basically, the way how keyword optimization works is you can use tools, and Google provides those tools to see what people search for and what questions they ask. And based on this, you can create, when you're launching a new website, you can see if you want your domain or your company name even to be called like this. We've seen, like, for example, one of our clients are Artificial Grass Cork. So imagine after 6 months of launching this website, they are top in SEO, and they get a lot of organic traffic inquiries because of the fact that everybody is searching for artificial grass from a cork area, and they just dominate. Okay. Another thing in that is that you can doing the right keyword research helps you to create, and I'm gonna get a little bit technical here, but something that we call friendly URLs, and this is good for Google. Essentially, if you call your services, meaning very likely that the URLs will also have those keywords in them, and also when you have it in your meta tags, having a right keyword is essential, because it will appear in many places on your website, meaning that Google will be more happy to display your results. And it's very, very like there are tools online where you can see, okay, this is the service or this is the product I'm selling, how people call it. And then you can include those services in your pages titles, in your URLs, in the content. And the more you write about this, the better, essentially. It can help a lot with organic traffic.
That's brilliant. So we have a question about the email marketing. So how can I improve my email marketing to increase the CTR, the click ratio, the click-through ratio, the click-through rate, and reduce bounce rates, other than filtering through emails with misspelling errors and so on?
So, sorry, the question is about how we can improve email marketing
to increase the click-through rate and reduce bounce rate.
Right. So basically, if you get a high bounce rate, that means that people read your email, they like what they saw, but then when they go to the site, they didn't like what they saw, meaning that you are reaching either the message on the email is incorrect or reaching the incorrect audience. This is it. The click-through rate is how you compose your email and what are the call to actions that will enable people, or the people will be more likely to click on them. So you can improve the click-through rate by looking at your call to actions in your email or the content itself.
Good. So the person who asked the question, if you did answer it, or if you want a follow-up, just write it down in the Q&A. So I have another question that it is about key performance indicators. So basically which will be the key performance indicator, or the way that I can measure that my website, that I can keep an eye on my website's performance. So that is, if it's doing well, how can I measure that it continue doing well during a period of time?
Mm-hmm. That's a very good question. Depending, is it a lead generation or e-commerce website? But what we really want from our websites is that when we have people coming to those websites, they end up being our, at least, inquiries, but customers. So the conversion rate would be crucial. And for e-commerce is how many people come to your website. And depending on your system, you can very easily keep track on this. Like Shopify, they have great analytics. It's also Google Analytics provides this information. There are plugins for WordPress. In Magento, you have completely separate analytics suite. And on your on lead generation website, for example, if it's WordPress or Webflow or Squarespace or Wix, you can see the traffic the website received within a certain amount of time, and you can create events using your Google Tag Manager. I'm sorry, I'm very technical, so you can. I just try to avoid this. So basically, you can have a system. It's either manual or automatic to calculate how many people reach out to you. And this, please remember that it's also inquiry forms, but also for lead generation website, it's inquiry forms, but also clicks on emails and clicks on phone numbers, because very likely people will be, and if you have a WhatsApp widget, you also could add, calculate how many people reach out to you on WhatsApp, because now it's very popular. So, but the conversion rate is it's crucial. It's something that gives you real.
So if we could say that if they, at least they should be looking the traffic to the website, conversion, that it means that if they click on anything, and I would say bounce rate, because bounce rate is when bounce rate basically it is someone went to your website and left immediately. And that is either, but there are many different reasons. It could be that the content that is there that I went because it was an error, but most of the times I didn't find something interesting from where I clicked. Let's say social media, I clicked and I went to the homepage when you were talking about a specific topic in the link. So if I say the traffic, conversion, and bounce rate, those would be, if I don't measure anything today, could be a good 3 KPI.
I agree. Yes.
So, and we have the last question, because I'm conscious that we are going to finish in a couple of minutes. So you're very welcome. My next question is, how much weight does the design have over the text in the email? Because I've tried simple design plus the straight to the point text, and then more design elements, more detailed text. So what do you say? What is the weight does the design over the text has in the email?
Yes, so the rule of thumb would be, it's a very specific question. The rule of thumb would be that it needs to be mobile friendly. So you need to be able to view this email on mobile correctly. Depending on what the content on the email, I think the kind of another rule of thumb would be it needs to match your brand. So the colors are very important. Like exactly how the design of the email, how it looks specifically from a design perspective, is not as important as the content itself. So the simpler way that people can read, learn, and reach out to you or click on that button, the better. So I would be leaning towards simplicity with your brand than having the most beautiful design. It needs to be clear, and all the message, everything what you want them to see, it needs to be available, especially on mobile.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good answer. And also, if you have enough audience, so if your distribution list is big enough, I will do A and B tests. So that to check.
Yeah.
So I think that we will go back to the theme of emails in another webinar, because there is a lot of things that have changed. A lot of things have changed, and probably that we can help a lot of businesses. So the last question that I can answer is this: what's the fastest hosting provider for Irish websites, for a website built in WordPress?
Right. The hosting. Okay. We don't use Irish hosting provider. So that's we didn't find a hosting provider that would look. And I'm not searching, because once you have a trusted hosting provider with good support, good capacity, backups, all the things like security scanners and all those, like you don't look for another one unless they'll fail in delivery. So I didn't find. We've worked with a couple of Irish hosting providers, and we saw that none of them will do as good as the ones we're using. So I can tell which ones we're using. So there are two, and one of them for smaller projects would be SiteGround. I can recommend. And I'm not affiliated with them at all. This is what we are using. Another for larger projects with higher scalability is Kinsta. And Kinsta is the top of the top I've seen. It's just, it provides you tools that you really can go deeply in understanding the performance of your website. It allows, it's just, yeah, it's great for developers. They love it, and the speed and scalability, support is like Apple. I don't know. It's just they hire the best out of the best, really. Like, but SiteGround is also good. It's like we were very happy with them.
So isn't that good when actually someone provides a service of a product that we are so passionate about it that we suddenly become brand ambassador without being paid? That's what we all want our customers to be when they are experience our service. So it is a very good example of this one, of how actually the eyes glitch up when you're talking about something that you really want.
You haven't seen anything. Like, I've been doing websites for so many years, over many years, and yeah, I haven't seen anything like that.
Okay, so we are just running out of time. So before we wrap up, I will summarize the key takeaways from this session. So, and I literally have so many things now, I write it down here. But one thing that you can do immediately now in your website to increase the conversion rate is to introduce social proofing that is equal to testimonials and video, preferable or written, and the review, so they can rank reviews. The second thing, a website that struggle to convert is because the product or service pages are not optimized. That means that they don't have a clear call to action for what you want them to do. They don't have social proof, photography or video, and the message, it doesn't address pain points. So what is the problem that you're solving for your customer? And and I said I have a long list here, but if you have to introduce when talking about the media used in the website, videos are on the top of the list. It's an even better testimonial videos. Then blog, because it's gonna serve a different part of for the customer, that is nurturing and helping them to learn about your service. So if they are not ready to buy now, they will know that they can go to you for as a source of information. So that's why the blogs are educational, and they are there so that the customers feel that you're adding value to them without they paying anything. So as I say, I have a long list, but I just try to take 3 takeaways. So Matt, where can people connect with you to learn more?
Yes, thank you, Susana. It was great. It was a pleasure. That was very good to have this webinar with you. And you can connect with me, on LinkedIn. So it's Matt Sroka, or you can find my company Revolution. You can check my website as well, revolution.ie. I think it's somewhere here.
Background, yeah.
Small. Or drop me an email. It's matt at revolution.ie. So I'd be happy, like if you have any questions about things we covered today, I'd be happy to kind of answer any of them. I'm happy to share any kind of information I may have to help you guys.
Thank you very much, Matt. I really, really enjoyed the session, and I think we could have gone for another half an hour. So thank you for attending. Thank you for being so candid and answering all the questions. Thank you all for attending today. If you enjoyed this session, please feel free to share this recording. The recording is going to be on YouTube and in our LinkedIn page. Reach out to Matt for questions. He is someone very good to bounce ideas and ask questions. And basically, if you're not really sure what you can do with your site, I really recommend to reach out to them to find out more. Our next session on this collaboration series is on March the 12th, and we will talk about the cost of ignoring your numbers. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good afternoon.